This is John Paul Rai. I'm coming to you from Tokyo, Japan. I got an article here from CNBC called Twitter shares soar more than 21% after Elon Musk takes 9% stake in social media company, which I think might be a good thing. And I'll explain, but let's take a look what we got here. Outspoken Tesla CEO Elon Musk purchased a giant stake in Twitter that makes him the largest outside shareholder in the social media stock not long after criticizing the company for what he said was its failure to uphold tenets of free speech, which I was going to say is a great thing. That's what I wanted to explain. Elon Musk actually has some really good political viewpoints on freedom of speech. He's very based in his opinion on social matters, the economy, social media. So I, for one, think this is a positive sign here. Musk owns 73.4 million shares of Twitter, which represents a 9.2% passive stake in the company, according to a Securities and Exchange Commission 13G filing released Monday. The stake is worth $2.8 billion based Twitter's closing price Friday. Alright, so that's close to $3 billion. Elon Musk has almost $200 billion, so it's a little bit of money for him. But if I had $200 in my pocket, that's like $3 or something like that, so not that much to him. And I think this part is pretty darn important. The purchase comes less than 2 weeks after Musk criticized the company, polling people on Twitter about whether it adheres to free speech principles. So let's take a look at the actual tweet. Musk says, "Given that Twitter serves as the de facto public town square, failing to adhere to free speech principles fundamentally undermines democracy. What should be done?" And he's probably talking about a lot of bannings that happen over controversial issues. Like if you say something about the transgender issue that goes the wrong way for Twitter, if you say something about right-wing political point of views that goes the wrong way for Twitter, a lot of times you will get banned. We know a certain someone who got banned from Twitter who had 80 million followers. Now, think of what you want about the former president of the US. However, Twitter was selectively deleting things that were positive that he said, and they were keeping things that weren't. So it was very selective censorship, and it really goes against freedom of speech. And unfortunately, even if you really, really disagree with someone, you've got to still defend and respect their right to that speech. Now, I know what some people are thinking, and the argument's been made that, well, Twitter's a private company, quote unquote, end of story. Well, when freedom of speech laws were first made, we didn't have something like Twitter, which has 350 million users and which is actually used in society as kind of this public square. So we're really in uncharted waters as far as the spirit of free speech and upholding free speech on social media. And I think what Musk is saying is that they're not doing the best job at that. We also know there was a story about a certain president's son that got censored. That happened on Twitter. That's not right either. So I see kind of a bias there, and I think Elon Musk sees that too. Now, I'm not sure he's like this total right-wing guy and agrees with everything Trump does and Trump says or right-wing people say. However, he does hold some of those point of views. And what I think is this: we need political balance more than anything. And right now, the balance in power as far as the freedom of speech seems to be off a little bit. I'm actually pretty centered politically. And hell, I'm in Japan. So I'm not even actually in the US, where a lot of the main political battles are taking place. So I'm not even on the ground there. And it continues. While it is classified as passive stake, investors were bidding shares higher on the chance this could lead to something more. Twitter stock surged more than 21% in the morning. Musk could try to take a more aggressive stance here on Twitter, Wedbush analyst Dan Eves said Monday on CNBC's Squawk Box. This eventually could lead to some sort of buyout. This makes sense given what Musk has been talking about, at least from a social media perspective, I've said. Musk is a frequent user of Twitter and has more than 80 million followers on the platform. However, some of his tweets have gotten the Tesla chief into hot water over the years. Right, because he's got multiple investments in a wide spectrum of areas, and if he tweets something that someone doesn't like in one area, they'll probably pull out the investment in their area. You know, he smoked a blunt on Joe Rogan and he lost $1 billion or something. So, whatever the guy does, in one way or another, might lose him a lot of money. I think that's just the nature of having that much money, basically. So, anyway, this is interesting news. Like I said, my political outlook lines up with Elon Musk pretty close, so I think this is a good thing. Now, for you guys following Depth First Heard, well, you know, the big elephant in the room is that Elon Musk played Monopoly and drank hot chocolate 100% with the flappy fish market. That's always going to be there. I can't defend that I'm rooting for this guy. You know, that's always going to be, a big scar and a huge minus, but he's got such weight and such pull on society, and he's got some good ideas. So I'm going to have to follow him and hope that in Virginia he does the right thing. You guys, let me know what you think down below. Doing shout outs, special thanks, things like that. If you're not subscribed here, consider it. And if you don't subscribe, I guess I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.